Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of First and Last. My name is Josh, and with me this week we have a Joe.
Hey, man.
And a Jimmy.
What is up?
Well, hello, my pasta pals, and Joe.
I don't get to be a pasta pal.
Oh,
I mean, technically we're all Jimmy's pasta pals, so I guess I mean,
yeah, you are.
you can be a pasta pal, Joe, of course.
All right.
Be a goulash ghoul. An angel hair hangout man.
Angel hair ally.
Yeah, there we go. That sounds weird.
Yeah, that sounds like you're supporting me in some way that somehow
Yeah.
I'm like discriminated against or
And it sounds like my hair is heavenly. It doesn't sound like pasta anymore.
It is heavenly.
Yeah, you haven't heard of the recent pasta discrimination going around, Jimmy? Better watch yourself.
Oh, yeah, that straight white pasta really gets it in the media, and we've had enough. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
what
I
are
think
we
we've
doing?
had enough of you too, Jimmy.
Yeah, that tracks.
Straight white
I'll,
pasta?
I'll
Is
see
that
myself out.
like linguine? Or like a fettuccine? Like flat, straight white?
Fettuccine
Oh,
Alfredo,
super flat.
straight white pasta.
It's the straight white flat pasta.
That's also discrimination, by the way.
in so many levels.
What, saying fettuccine Alfredo?
Yeah, how dare you?
You guys seen that like meme going around about like people finding out that the guy who invented fettuccine Alfredo is like actually like a chef named Alfredo? And there's like pictures of him like serving the fettuccine Alfredo to like celebrities like by hand, because that's just like he used to like mix it by hand at your table.
Huh.
There's like a picture of like Chef Alfredo and JFK, and Chef Alfredo has like a fistful of noodles.
That was back before germs, so it makes sense.
Well, I mean, God, it's like they probably put their hands on a lot of stuff, but you would assume that they like wash it. And I don't know, the trip from the kitchen to the table side to then just toss your pasta.
Yeah.
Just like, should you bring a sink
And
with you?
yeah, and you know this guy's like
Yeah, he's
sweating.
soap up.
He's like gonna be like wiping his brow and stuff, and then getting back in there.
It's probably got like hairy knuckles.
I won't say what establishment it was, but I once worked at an establishment where we made pizza sauce in this like old school way. Supposedly, that's what I was told anyway, where you hand mixed it. Because pizza sauce has like a lot of like Parmesan and spices and stuff in it, and it gets all clumped up. So you
Got
like
a lot of Parmesan, spices, dead human skin, that kind of stuff.
yeah, just whatever. Yeah, arm hair especially. But you like sanitized your like whole like hand and forearm and just got in there. It's pretty kind of wild.
I'm pretty sure I know where you're talking about, and I'm going to ask you about it when we're not.
And I definitely had this pizza a couple of nights ago.
Interesting.
Rhymes with Papa Don's.
Rhymes with Tapa Herfies, maybe?
Man, I wish I had a top of Murphs.
You didn't work for the Papa. Joe,
I didn't.
what is first and last for all those that like their pizza sauce mixed with spoons?
With spoons? I like it mixed with a fork.
Ladles? I don't know.
Mixed with knives. Just stab it up.
Would you go to a pasta shop or pizza shop? It's like all our pastas mixed with knives.
That'd be good. It's a TV pod. We take a TV show per week, and and watch only the first episode. And guess what? Only the last. Is that what you guessed? Based on the name. So yeah, we watch nothing in between, and we try to make predictions for what we think is going to happen by the time we get to the finale. A lot of times it's been, years and years from that pilot to the finale. So like things get weird.
I wonder if you think anyone also makes hears our first episode recap and makes their own predictions.
Ooh, good way to play along.
Follow us on Instagram and let us know what your predictions are.
Send us your score. We'll add you to the ledger.
I just always assume that the only people that listen and they go, "Oh, MASH, I love MASH," and then they listen to it and they're like, just hate listening to the rest of the episode after we make just the dumbest predictions. But maybe I just don't have a good outlook on humanity, so could be me.
These kids have never been to a MASH.
These kids don't know anything about Korea.
Korea.
Alan, what's his name?
Alan Alda?
Yeah, Alan Alda.
It's a good guy. That Alan Alda.
Good man. Did he pass away? He maybe passed away.
I think he lives.
Huh.
If I had a bet, I would bet Alan Alda is still alive.
Oh, I would always bet on Eldon Alda.
Yeah.
What's his name?
1955 to present.
Huh.
Oh no, wait.
Right.
That's his acting career is 1955 to present. He was born in 1936, but also still alive. So
either way.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Career died in 2000. No.
Yeah, wonder what he's working on. Let's see.
MASH 2, the mashing.
MASH 2. He was on Ray Donovan as of 2020. So the dude is working.
All right.
Yeah, he knows what's up. Joe, I believe it's your show.
It's my show. And to be
What'd you
honest,
pick for us?
yeah. To be honest, show pick week is getting hard for me because every time I think of a show, we've done it.
Man. Do you not have a short list? I have so many shows on a short list. Do me and Jimmy have to show you what our lists are?
Last time I picked, I had 2 shows that I was deciding between. And then, so this week I did not pick the show that I have also on my short list, but I've got 1 show on the short list. Not sure about that one yet, just because I'm not sure about the rules on how we want to do that. It's kind of a little teaser for when we eventually do that show. It's a show that left and came back, and I'm not sure if we want to do the comeback. There's also a movie involved, and I'm not sure how that plays in, but that's for another time.
Really quick before you tell me what show is, you said you have 1 show on your short list?
Yeah.
I don't think 1 item's a list, Joe. I just want to.
That's a good point.
A list of 1 is just an item at that point, huh?
It's just I have an item.
I have a show in the bank.
Yeah.
For emergencies.
Now that I've just said that, just get that off my chest. I'm ready for the show.
So
whatever you want to do.
So the next easiest thing, other than trying to pull a show off a list, is just hey, what's Claire watching? Oh, that show, is that done? Let's do that.
Nice.
So this week.
So really, question before you even tell us the show.
Yeah.
Claire's currently watching this show.
Maybe not this moment, but this week has been watching this show.
We've already done Gilmore Girls, right?
Yeah,
we have.
You know that, right?
And Seventh Heaven, and Blossom. No, but we're actually doing remote recording tonight, so you're at home. So are you about to watch the finale of a show that Claire's currently working through, in front of Claire?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. She might have seen this entire show and is maybe just going back through it, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I guess I haven't checked. I'll ask her.
We'll find. There's no stopping the train now.
Yeah.
You know.
Otherwise, get her a mic and pull her up.
I guess, yeah. The show ended recently, so it's possible she hadn't gotten to it yet.
All right.
So this week's show, we're doing Kim's Convenience.
Okay.
Kim's Convenience.
Convenience. You guys heard of it?
Sure haven't.
It sounds kind of familiar. Who's in it?
It's a Korean comedy. Or not, it's not, sorry. Just delete that. It's not what I meant to say.
It's not funny, or
no, it's a Canadian comedy, primarily starring Koreans. That's why I had Korean on the mind. But
yeah, I mean, according to IMDb, it says it's a Korean Canadian family.
Yeah,
so, I mean, in a way, it's a Korean comedy.
So, but yeah, wanted to mention the Canadian part because it's kind of like Schitt's Creek in that way, where it's like not really like a household name here in the States, but it seemed like it was a big deal in Canada.
Nice.
And is now starting to get some attention. The other way you may have heard of it is Simu Liu, who was just in the big Shang-Chi movie, is like one of the primary characters in this show.
Oh, yes. That's Shang-Chi himself, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's the Shang.
I actually, fun fact, is I literally just watched that movie yesterday.
Ah,
Nice.
there you go. What'd you think?
Oddly enough, I mean, I don't know who Shang-Chi is based on like any Marvel stuff at all. So I was just kind of like, cool, whatever, some whatever superhero. And in all fairness, Shang-Chi probably is still kind of a whatever superhero to me.
Yeah.
But that movie itself, like I was like 45 minutes into it, and it's like a 2-hour and 15-minute movie. And I'm like, I think I like this movie a lot. This is just a really fun kung fu movie, basically. Like, so it was really good.
It's basically what like the Netflix like Iron Fist should have been.
Yeah, oh man, if Iron Fist was like anything like this, it would have been awesome. So honestly, I went into Shang-Chi not thinking I was going to like it, or like thinking it was going to be just kind of whatever, and I left going, that was real fun. So I'm pro Shang-Chi.
He's great in it.
Yeah, he's really good.
But I've heard, so I have like a coworker who's really into this show, which is why I've heard of it, and she like alluded that he's a very different. There's no kung fu, is what I understand.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
When was the show on, Joe?
It started in October 11th, 2016, and then just ended April 13th, 2021.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it ran 5 seasons, and before season 5, it got renewed for like 2 seasons. But then after season 5 ended, the creators just decided to walk away.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they just ended up canceling it after the 5th season rather than trying to keep going after that.
So what you're saying is when we get to the finale, quote unquote, it most likely is just a season finale.
I wonder, because if the creators kind of knew that they wanted to end it, or at least were thinking about it, maybe they would go into like the season 5 finale with an actual finale.
A little more of a wrap up.
And that was kind of that's kind of the vibe behind all of like Michael Schur's shows, where like every season finale is like a show finale because maybe the show ends, who knows?
I mean, yeah, we've talked about that. It's a good way to kind of go, can keep some questions, but if it ended, then everyone would be happy still.
Exactly. Yeah. So I could see them, if they're maybe thinking about it ending, that maybe there is some sort of satisfying finale here, but we'll see.
We shall. I mean, I assume by the name Kim's Convenience, this somehow takes place in some maybe mom and pop convenience store or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would be correct.
I assume it's not in a Walmart.
Yeah. I've seen a handful of episodes, again, because like Claire's been watching it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's generally the premise. And I know who the recurring characters are, but I don't necessarily know how they're related. Like I know there's like a mom and pop who run the shop, and then there's two younger people, and I assume that those are the mom and pop's kids, but like they could be nieces and nephews. I'm not actually sure.
Okay. I'm trying to think of like shows with like convenience stores, and I'm only thinking of The Simpsons and Clerks.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in this, in this first episode, there's going to be slushies, and the place is going to get robbed.
Very plausible. Very plausible. Yeah. When I was thinking of it today, I think there's elements of it that kind of reminds me of like a Bob's Burgers, where it's just a guy like running a small business and like all the shenanigans that like goes along with just like a struggling small business, just like a neighborhood business.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, I'm sure the character is actually nothing like Bob from Bob's Burgers, and the humor is very different, but just the situations of the situational comedy, I think there may be some overlap there.
Sold. You said Bob's Burgers, I'm sold.
I stopped listening to the caveats you put after that. You just said Bob's Burgers, so.
Yeah, I blanked after that.
Oh man, I feel like I just read the name of the first episode and I giggled. So
it's not Pilot.
All right.
It's not Pilot, so that's already great.
It's Canadian Pilot.
Yeah, Canada knows how to name their episodes. They're not lazy like Americans. So I mean, yeah, I don't know if there's too much more. Yeah, Shang-Chi is in this. Simu Lee, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say that name wrong all night long. So apologies.
Just say it every way, and then you'll never know if you said it wrong or right.
You'll
at least I'll get it right at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. You said the guy's name 20 ways and you never said it right once. It's like, great.
Be amazing.
But yeah, should we just get into it and see what's going on? Because first episode happened on October 11th, 2016, and it was called Gay Discount.
Okay.
So why don't we go see what that's all about, and we'll be back after that. And we're back. We're done with the first episode of Kim's Convenience. What's it called? Gay Discount? No, I literally just forgot.
You knew it was gay something.
Gay Discount. Yeah, it's Gay Discount. Normally I write down on my piece of paper, I write down what the episode was, and all I wrote was gay because I couldn't remember. I was like, gay? I kept thinking of like convenience for some reason. And I was like, no, that's the name of the show. You got a write-up, Jimmy?
Yeah, here's what Netflix says. Appa's plan to offer customers a gay discount hits a few snags. Meanwhile, Amma pressures Janet to get a boyfriend.
Amma tries to find a cool Christian Korean boyfriend.
Yeah.
For Janet, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Much more specifically. Which is hilarious. Literally to where she is pretending like there's a job opening and taking interviews for jobs for the convenience store from single cool Christian Korean boys. So good.
Yeah. Initial thoughts on the show. I guess, Joe, you've already seen some of it, so you knew what was going on.
Have you seen this pilot?
I have not, no.
Ooh, nice.
But it did help explain some things, like in how the characters relate to each other, so it was helpful to see the pilot.
Yeah, I bet. So, like, because kind of the big like elephant is that there's a fourth character, Jung, who is the like estranged son of the family.
Mm-hmm.
And so like we find out in this episode that so he's working at this like handy, literally a place called Handy, like a handyman like car repair shop or something like that.
It was just like a car rental.
Or a
wasn't it?
rental?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, car rental shop.
A car rental shop called
So-
Handy.
Yeah. So it's Mr. and Mrs. Kim run this store. It's a convenience store, and they're maybe in their like late 50s, early 60s. They're, they're the parents of millennials, essentially that age.
Absolutely.
And then they have a daughter, Janet, who's 20 and in college, I assume. And then they have Janet has an older brother, Jung, who, again, Jimmy was saying works at this car rental, and it seems like he's been like somewhat estranged from the family. He had mentioned that he got kicked out when he was like 16.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like a full-grown adult man.
Yeah.
So,
mhm.
Yeah. So, and assuming like, even if he's like a couple years older than Janet, that means he's been gone a long time, right? Like, maybe like 6 years or something.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
That's a
depending
long
on
time.
how old he is.
but
Yeah.
it seems like mom is talking to him. Mom knows where he is,
Mm-hmm.
and like comes to talk to him about Janet, and Janet comes and asks for like a deal on a rental car because dad still won't let her drive their like van.
Mm-hmm.
But dad does not know that
Because yeah,
they know where he is.
one of the central like conflicts, at least of this episode, was, and I'm sure it comes back up, was just Mr. and Mrs. Kim's expectations for Janet, where Mrs. Kim wants her to find a cool Korean Christian boy to like get married with and have tons of babies, and Mr. Kim wants her to run the store, which she seems not interested in neither right now.
Classic.
well, she seemed mildly interested in one of those at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep, she had her own date show up.
Was that one of the boys from the beginning?
I think so. I think it was
Yeah.
one of the guys that had interviewed for the job. She ends up going on a date with him at the end.
Nice.
Mom should be very happy.
Yeah, right.
Overall, I thought it was actually really funny. I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I lolled many times.
Yeah. Very funny. Are we to assume or maybe think are like Mr. and Mrs. Kim make first generation and then Jung and Janet are second generation?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, obviously you get that dynamic that you would normally get in a sitcom of just like kind of like parents that sometimes don't know what's going on or like just think things are the way they are because they're old and also not like from where they live, even though they probably lived there for decades at this point.
Yeah, but it's different. It's very different from what they knew, right?
Oh yeah, I mean they grew up somewhere else, fully different traditions and whatnot. And I mean Janet and Uma, like have like that kind of like not fight, but just like they don't see eye to eye when she's like, yeah, go find a good, cool Christian guy. And Janet's like, dude, that's not like, it's not a thing. Like, you can't just go, yeah, like, basically, it's not how it works. And also, that's not what I want either.
Yeah.
So it's so you get both like the added, like, disparate, is that, how would you, diaspora, however you say it, of like them being Korean Canadian and then the like millennial, like you don't understand me, because like mom's like, that's what I did, I went to church and I met your dad, and it's like that's not how it works anymore, although then she did just go out with the boy from church, so maybe it does still work like that. But I just thought this was just absolutely delightful. Like from the get-go, you've got kind of a modern. There was like a almost like a 90s sitcom like open title sequence with like flashy like colors and stuff, but done in like a modern way. I thought that was pretty fun. And then you dive into Appa trying to navigate, gay culture.
Oh yeah, we haven't even talked about the like namesake of the episode, the gay
Whole
discount.
premise.
Yeah, I mean, was that the first scene of the show?
It was the
when
very first scene.
The two dudes came in, right? Was it two guys or just one guy?
Two
guys, yeah. Uh-huh.
And oh yeah, because they were trying to like hang up a sign, and it's funny because I mean, tell me if I got this wrong, I guess, but I legitimately think like Mr. Kim like just thought the sign was ugly.
Yeah,
like,
that's what
he
he
said.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's too busy. I don't like it. And they're like, but we're gay. And these are like gay colors. And he's just like, I don't like the sign.
Mm-hmm.
And then he even realizes like, he's like, oh, I've gone too far. There's a gay discount just to get out of like being homophobic, I guess.
Yeah, they were accusing him of being homophobic. And that's why he didn't want to hang up like the gay pride. Like it was for some event they were holding.
Right. He's just like an opinionated old man that's just like, nah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Not that I, because then he says there's a gay discount, and then they're like, what do you just know people are gay? And he's like, he's like 100% gaydar.
Yeah.
100% guarantee.
And then like he hands them,
movie?
and then he tells her there's a
You're not gay.
50% discount. And then I think the best part about that whole scene was when he hands like after all of that, and he tries like get out, like dig his own hole back up of what he did.
Mm-hmm.
He like hands the poster back to the two guys and is like, you can do better.
Yeah. Yeah. After
Like-
he'd done this whole thing about the discount, he's still just like, no, I'm not hanging up this sign.
I'm still not hanging up this ugly sign. Like that's the best part.
Yeah.
And then there was one guy that came in later and was like, I heard about the discount.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, there is a discount, but it's not for you. And he's like, but I'm gay. And the guy just like kept coming in to prove he's gay.
Mm-hmm.
With like, he brought a friend in, presumably his boyfriend maybe. And he was like, see, I'm gay. And then it turned into this like, you still talk about her.
Yeah, like an old girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of just in between humor with the gay discount part of it.
Yeah.
And then there's kind of an
He had
interesting,
like a really nice,
yeah,
he had like a really nice like interaction with like the
drag queen.
with a drag queen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because he was just like, wait a minute, what's going on with this? And like in a seemingly pretty like, I actually just am asking a question because I don't get it, and I would like you to like tell it to me because I want to understand. And then like it seemed like they like made friends. I wouldn't be surprised if that person just like randomly showed up every once in a while, like every like 10 episodes.
Yeah, there's just this scene where a drag queen's just like shopping in the shop, and Mr. Kim just says like, essentially just says like, hey, like what's your deal? Why do you dress like this?
Yeah.
And in and the drag queen, like to her credit, doesn't just like get offended and like kind of realizes that this man's just trying to understand, and she says like, this is just how I dress. It kind of just feels comfortable, and like that's just who I am. And then he's just like, okay.
Yeah. He's like, cool, nice to meet you.
Yeah. Which is really like the most you can ask for from like people of that age, is just like they're not gonna quite, there's a lot of things they don't understand or maybe aren't ready to, but like if they're open to hearing new information, like give them the information and see how they react to it.
Yeah.
All right. That's all you can do.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best you can hope for.
Mm-hmm. So that was kind of an interesting scene.
Yeah.
And really the only way it ties to like the family drama of it is like he's like Mr. Kim's like running the numbers, and he's like, there's money missing, so like there's a steal. He keeps saying like there's a steal. And then Mrs. Kim realizes like, oh, the missing money is from the gay discount you've been giving. You didn't take that into account. But like before that point, he already like had accused Janet, his daughter, of like just like taking money from them. And that's really how it ties in. But yeah, it turns out it was from the gay discount that he's been giving 15%.
Come on, Mr. Kim. Keep track of your numbers.
Other than that, there's a few more characters.
Yeah,
From
there's
the rifle
Shannon,
through.
right?
Yep, Shannon, the handy, whatever the rental car place boss or manager.
She's
funny.
totally into Jung. Totally into him.
You think
We
so?
all are. Did you get a look at him?
No,
This dude is like a hunk.
He's a hunk. For sure.
MCU hunk just waiting to happen.
Yeah, and this
I
is
was like-
probably like pre-MCU trainers, right?
Yeah, right. Like one
Doug
scene, I was
was
like, oh
born
yeah,
for
that dude.
this.
That dude was always gonna be it. Some sort of superhero.
Yeah.
He
so
and then he
that's
had
her.
a friend,
At the
Yeah,
shop.
is that guy's name Kimchi?
Yeah.
Kimchi. Sounds like
I think it's like
they've
a
known each
nickname.
other a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense to me. A Korean person named Kimchi seems like that'd be weird. Who else? There was another guy at the shop that had one little scene with Appa, and I think he was named Mr. Chen.
Oh,
Yeah, just another
did-
older Asian guy, right?
Another old Asian business owner, and it seemed like they went way back. At least that's how like Mr. Chen was talking. Is like, where? 'Cause what did he say? He was like, remember like back in the day, like there were no gays to be seen, and now they're everywhere.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's pretty funny.
That's hilarious. I don't know where that randomly made me think because I like watched a thing. Somebody was talking about like apparently like currently we're on like we have like the gayest generation, you know. And obviously some terrible conservative right wing person was acting like that was a bad thing or like acting negatively, and it was like maybe we're just like the same amount of gay generation, just that people aren't terrified to tell you you're gay
Feel
anymore.
a little
you
more
dick.
empowered to let you know.
Yeah, to just be
Yeah.
themselves.
So I was thinking of that when I was watching Mr. Chin and Mr. Kim talk about it.
Yeah.
Where'd they all come from?
Yeah,
I was
where
like,
did they talk-
They've always been there, bud.
Are they even like talking about like it like is it like being imported or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the fun. That's kind of like I mean, I'm sure that was like the shtick or the comedy about that is like two immigrants obviously talking about whether or not the gay people are now immigrating. Like they're, I don't think they were necessarily worried about it, but they were just kind of like, wait a minute, are they immigrating these people now?
I loved it. Loved every second.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
I liked it a lot.
I think maybe the one other interesting thing I would mention is that so they set up the drama of that like Jung is not talking to Mr. Kim, and then they set it up at the end where so Janet rented this car from the shop, and then in order to get Mr. Kim to apologize to her, she says like, you won't apologize to me, so like instead of apologizing you could just return my car for me. And she's setting it up so that Mr. Kim has to go to the shop and then see Jung there, and they'll talk and make up or whatever. So then when he gets there, Jung kind of like gets his boss to go fill in for him, so that he doesn't have to talk to his dad. But like his dad sees a sign there, so like he knows that like Jung is working there. But then they just cut back to the shop when like Mr. Kim is back, and like there's no indication that they talked. It just, I think it kind of interesting. Like I was kind of expecting with this being the pilot that like they would have some sort of conversation there, and maybe not everything's resolved, but like that would be kind of be the start. And then all of a sudden Jung's at the shop all the time now or something. But like, it really was just kind of left like, well, nope, just, yeah, they still don't talk. See you next week.
Yep, he just pretended. He's just none the wiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting with like, I mean, sort of four main characters, but like let's pretend like the kids are both more main characters, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
With like them being like completely separated.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like Jung's gonna have a completely different like hangout layout for a while, possibly. And I mean, you think they make up or come back together and at some point, but maybe they wait for like a season or something to do that.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Essentially, just like complete separate storyline. Like you can kind of see how, like, there might be a setup where like the stuff's going on at the shop with the 3 like Kim family members, and then there's stuff going on at Handy with Jung and his coworkers. Like, and that's like the B storyline.
Yeah. They don't give it to you all at once. Don't give it all away.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's super. I think it fits with Mr. Kim's character too. Of like, I'm gonna play it cool, and I'm gonna figure this out like that. Like this was a setup. I'm gonna pretend like I don't know anything till I figure this out. I want to see it. I have predictions, but then let's just watch episode 2. Is that okay?
No, Jimmy, it's not okay.
Not allowed.
But it would be okay if you gave us what your predictions are.
Okay. I think, number 1, Jung is on talking terms with Appa Kim, which I assume is just like Daddy Kim. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think Appa and Amma are just like mom and dad.
Like terms of endearment.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I think Jung and Appa are cool. Number 2, we had a lot of church talk in this. Christian Korean boyfriend church talk. But I think we actually have a scene at church in this episode. That's my number 2. Number 3, we talked about how Janet, they were trying to get her boyfriend. Well, Amma was, and then Mr. Kim's like, no, she's going to take over the store. It's like, how is she going to have a baby? And he's like, you've got a baby? And she's like, no. I think Janet is pregnant. That's my number 3.
Uh-huh.
Oh, she found that baby.
Got that baby, daddy. And the number 4, I think Jung is actually taking over the store
Okay.
by season
All right.
5. Is that what this is? End of season 5?
It would be season 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Mine. I'm gonna do mine now. Mine was Jung has dated. So he definitely has dated Shannon, but they are not dating anymore.
Okay. There's an X situation.
Somehow, I hope that comes through.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Chandler and the annoying lady, Janice.
Yeah, just like that. I think number 2, Janet has moved out of the home.
Mm-hmm.
She's gone. Empty nesters. Those Mr. and Mrs. Kim are.
Whole nother dynamic.
Speaking of Mr. and Mrs. Kim, my third one is I think they are in search for someone to buy the store. They're trying to sell. And then
To Jung.
maybe to Jung. Maybe they're trying to sell the store to their son. And then number 4, I think there are over 2 convenience store hot dogs eaten in this episode. I assume they've got the rolly thing of hot dogs rolling somewhere in the corner that have been there for a month. Someone comes in and eats at least 2 of them. 2 or more.
Nice.
Those are my 4.
I share 2 predictions with Jimmy.
Ooh.
Because I have Jung takes over the store.
Oh.
And then I also have Janet is pregnant.
Jen takes over the 10 rings and saves the world. He doesn't have time for the store.
Doesn't have time to run a convenience store. So yeah, taking over the store, Janet's pregnant. And then my next 2 have not been mentioned yet. I have Mrs. Kim drives a boat. Just think something she's taking a liking to. And then Mr. Kim performs a choreographed dance.
Ooh. Man, I want to see
I hope he does it on the boat.
I hope so too. That would really set it off for me.
on the deck of the boat. Fantastic. Well, you're gonna get at least 2.
I feel pretty good about 2 of those.
Come on now. Hey, if Jung gives them $1, I'm taking that point too. All right. Okay. So why don't we get into this finale? It's called Family Business. So,
ooh,
let's see what that means. It doesn't bode well for me. The title. But we're gonna watch that, and we'll be back after that. And we're back. We're done with the final episode of Kim's Convenience. It was called Family Business. Jimmy, got a write-up.
Sure. Jung gives his parents a business presentation for their store, which leads them to ask Jung if he would like to take over Kim's Convenience. Kim Chi searches for his long-lost father, and after Jung didn't take Shannon's proposal to marry seriously, she decides to break up with him. Janet considers starting her own photography business, and Gerald expresses an interest in being a part of that. So apparently Shannon and Jung were dating.
Yeah. Yes, they were. And apparently they're no longer dating. We'll get to that in a minute.
I don't know if I see it.
So, yeah, there's a couple little
it.
stories going on. Obviously, like, Jung's trying to look for his next steps as far as working, and he entertains / tries to potentially just help out his parents to grow the store a little bit, but in the end, apparently doesn't have any actual want to take over the store. That's not what he's going for.
It sounds like he's in business school or something.
Yeah, he was in school for something for sure, but or was in school.
Yeah, maybe done even. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it seemed like he had some good business ideas potentially, so maybe he was in business school.
Mm. His ideas for the store were essentially have a garden center in the spring and summer, and then rent out the basement space because it's just not really being used.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. To Janet, who's photographer, but not doing any photography.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in my mind, I was like, Janet doesn't have any money, and I haven't even been watching this show, and I know Janet has no money.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, then Janet is thinking about taking her photography to the next step, which she kind of talks about a little bit every once in a while, and she also talks about it with this random dude who's working the counter, which apparently that must mean his name was Gerald.
Apparently. I didn't vet it, but I'm guessing Wikipedia knows all.
and so they talk a little bit as if they both don't seem to quite understand how to make money or what to do with money. So she's like, I'm going to be serious about this. And he's like, oh, I would love to jump on that bandwagon. He just doesn't want to. Gerald to me just sounded like he didn't want to work a regular job.
Yeah. Just wanted to get out of whatever he's doing.
Yeah, at least the job that he was doing.
Yeah. And then at Handy, the car rental place or whatever, someone put up a picture of Shannon above the dishes to wash their dishes, and then this became who can put up another picture of another coworker to burn them, but also to tell him to wash dishes. And that turned into Kim Chi wanting to go re-meet his dad or something.
The community sink lunch area is just the worst. Just do something else. Don't have a community sink where people can leave community dishes.
Yeah, that sounds gross.
Maybe community dishes in general. Maybe that's the issue. Have you guys never experienced this?
I mean, I've worked at a smaller place where, I worked at a bank, and there's only so many people that can work in a single bank, so it was smaller, and we had obviously a break room.
Yeah.
So people would leave their own dishes there sometimes. But we didn't have like community bowls and stuff.
Yeah, that's different.
But it
If
was
you
still
have
gross.
If you have to bring your own dishes, yeah, it's gross. But at least like they're bringing those dishes home at some point.
Yeah, they took a while sometimes.
Oof, that's rough.
Yeah, I've never really had that like with there's break rooms and sinks and stuff, but I've never witnessed someone like leaving their dishes in the sink for like an appreciable amount of time. That
Ugh.
sounds gross.
Ugh, it's awful because with a community dish, you can leave it and act like it was just
Like it wasn't
no one
even
knows
you.
whose dish
Yeah.
that was.
Yep.
Don't do it.
That's not my dish. That's a community dish.
That's everyone's cup of coffee. That's everyone's
It's
coffee
as-
stained mug.
That's as much my moldy coffee mug as it is yours, because it's the community's mug.
Communism. Hey, what else about this show?
But so like that all happens. I guess like Kimchi and Shannon go to like meet Kimchi's dad, but it turns out not to be Kimchi's dad, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is just like it's just so random.
Yeah.
In reality,
he was like
it seems
same
like that
name
was-
but wrong dad.
Yeah. So that was pretty funny.
They bonded.
And then seemingly to us, I guess, Shannon breaks up with Jung just pretty like out of the blue, but must have been like a penultimate episode where she like asked him to marry her and he said no or something.
Yeah, it seems like something just happened. They kept talking about like astounding trek or something, but we don't know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In all fairness, Jung and Shannon had like a fight sort of like in their apartment where they have like a roommate. And I feel like Jung like really flew off the handle like without any with like any provocation. I was like, damn man, you gotta hang out a little bit, chill. So
Yeah.
I thought he
Yeah.
was a cool, chill dude.
Definitely their relationship didn't seem like it was that great already. Also, she took a call or made a call, I guess, when she was hanging out with Kimchi and his not dad, about like a job offer somewhere else.
Yeah, like
So,
a director
she's
position
got-
or something.
Yeah, so it's like there was a lot of occupational things going on in this episode.
Yeah, everyone
Lot
was
of
really
movements.
looking forward to their future.
Yeah, which we'll never see. Until this show gets picked up by Amazon Originals 2023. I don't know. Who's to
I
say?
guess I'll watch it on Yahoo in 2024 when
Nice.
it gets dropped by Amazon and Yahoo picks it up.
6 seasons in a movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for the Kim's Convenience movie.
Well, I mean, this whole show itself, we never even mentioned it, was based off of a play, right?
Oh,
Yeah, I'd seen that.
that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, why not turn the movie based
could
on a play
totally
into
see
a
that.
show based on a play into a movie?
This is a great play. You got one scene basically. It's just
Yeah,
the
it's all just at
store.
the store.
Ah, it's genius. Huh. I'd watch it. What was the play
Perfect.
called? Kim's Convenience?
I did not look.
Simu's Convenience.
It said it like in the opening credits based
Oh.
on this.
Oh, I should.
Yeah, I think it was
Read
just
that.
called Kim's Convenience.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
But pretty interesting. I mean, all in all, I would say this episode, it just encapsulating this episode itself wasn't as funny as the first one.
Mm-hmm.
True.
A lot more of the other characters, like the non-family characters, were obviously way more involved, which
Huge
makes
mistake.
sense over the course of 5 seasons. Like Shannon and Kimchi and whoever the fuck Gerald is,
Yeah.
you know.
Nobody likes
Nope.
Gerald.
No Mr. Chin though.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't see Mr. Chin. They definitely
Yeah.
worked more of the handy folks in. So whoever you guys are saying that like that was like a kind of a bigger B plot, Totally, they were trying to make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
That work dynamic. Didn't care for it nearly as much as the just family dynamic of the pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I feel like any one of the family members interacting with Mr. Kim is the best scene in
gold
and the whole show. Like Mr. Kim's the best one for sure. He's just hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, literally in the pilot, I was like, everyone in this was good, and like, even like Shannon had like a smaller role, like she's funny, she's good, in the pilot. In this, yeah, they were giving a lot more attention to smaller roles that didn't really matter. I don't know.
Yeah. Just got further away from the center of gravity.
Yeah. Pull the
plug.
Well, we're done.
Joe, you had never seen this finale, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Did you confirm or deny with Claire that she had never seen this finale?
Yeah, she's in season 4 now.
Okay. Did she watch this with you?
No.
Okay. I wanted to see if you ruined her.
Yeah, she didn't see it.
Did she have any thoughts about how season 4 was going? Is it better than the ending of season 5?
I don't know. I didn't really check in. I don't know that she really has is critical about shows like that it's like getting better or worse. It just kind of it's good, especially a show like this where it's, a sitcom. Like it's just good like jigsaw puzzle background.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this show, it's like good until it's stale,
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of how it works. I liked it in general. I thought it was pretty good. First episode way better, which is generally how it works. If they didn't get canceled though. The guy like walked away, right? The creator decided they were done.
Mm-hmm. They had another season that they were already signed up for, and then they just walked away.
That's interesting. Very interesting. But
it was filmed.
I mean, kudos.
Was it filmed? Because it was over the pandemic that it aired this year, which means it was probably filmed in a terrible time. And at a certain point, you've got to decide what you're gonna do.
Yeah, this might be a good time to take a few months or years even to like just hunker down and write and come up with your next thing or something, as opposed to just grinding on your TV show.
Yeah. I wonder, I didn't look up like, are there ratings in Canada? Is Nielsen? Is there a French Nielsen I should be aware of?
Yeah, not aware. But yeah, they were at least signed up for another season, so it wasn't like they like got canceled by the network.
And that definitely makes it make more sense the way that this episode ended. Because literally, like, even, like, Mr. and Mrs. Kim turned out the lights in the store and walked, and were walking back through the store, and then the credits rolled. I don't even know what the last line, it wasn't even memorable. It was like, we're done.
Yeah, it was something like because they had this family dinner, and like Mr. Kim gives this like toast that's just like, here's to everything and everyone and to family or whatever, right? And that feels kind of finale like. And then after dinner, they all are like one by one walking out of the store and like they're locking up, and it kind of feels like it gave me like that weird like Cheers feeling where like what's his, I don't forget the name of the guy in Cheers, but like Dan or whatever, he's like locking up, and like I have this like eerie feeling like that he's about to get robbed or something. And like I had that at the end here where like they're just like closing up the shop, but like nothing happened. They just closed up the shop, and then they even said something about like, oh yeah, that was really fun, let's do that again. And then Mr. Kim said like, and nobody fought. And like I think that was the last line, is him saying, yeah, nobody fought.
That's funny.
Which is like the interesting part about that is like they break up Jung and Shannon like right before the dinner, but like they don't bring it up during the dinner, and then so like even after the dinner, Mrs. Kim is talking about like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make this for Shannon next time because she really likes it. Like they're completely unaware that like they've broken up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, who knows? They broke up, and that was kind of like the ending of the show. Season 6 might have had them fight a little bit and get back together or something. But
How did you guys feel about them? I think maybe just because even at the beginning of the episode, they're like at work together. You couldn't really tell that they're a couple. They're at work, and then you just see them fight. And the whole time I was just like, I don't see it. I don't see this couple. Bad couple.
There's something I don't like about the Shannon character, and I can't place what.
I thought it was weird. I was wondering what their work dynamic was right away. And in this episode
HR
now.
know about this?
Well, because she was his manager before.
Yeah.
But it seems like maybe that's not the case. Maybe he went to school then, and so it doesn't really matter anymore because he was much more separated. Just many seasons of like a boss dating a subordinate seems weird too.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But, maybe they were a really good couple for like 2 seasons and we just never saw any of it. And then all we saw was this like awkward post, him not saying yes to like a marriage proposal
or something.
Astounding
Trek.
They like weren't even dating when she did that.
You assume they were, right? Probably.
Cool.
So yeah. We got anything else that you were thinking about this? I actually think so. I mean, just as far as watching it, I mean, Joe, it'd be hard for you, but I mean, what is your interest in watching this show now? Are you gonna follow behind Claire and just keep watching
he doesn't watch shows?
Yeah, I think I would, just start back up from season 2, or not season 2, episode 2.
Yeah, I think I'll just skip all of season 1 and go right into season 2. Why not?
Get into the meat of these characters. But yeah, I could see this being like an easy watch, and like it's definitely, like I say, it's an easy watch, but I do like laugh out loud at some of the jokes if I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you that I really like the vibe of the first episode, and obviously you would assume that like that would at least flow into the rest of season 1, and then if anything changes, it's a gradual change within the show. So I'm very into giving this show a try, at least in the first season, and just kind of, hopping into episode 2 and seeing what's going on, because I really liked what was going on there. I did not dislike the final episode. It's just like wasn't as like kind of carefree funny as the first one.
Yeah, for sure. I will say it did feel like the both the first and last seemed more serious than any of the episodes I'd previously seen in between.
Okay. Well, that even makes me feel better about it, because I feel like even a less fun like episode than even the first one, which wasn't even that. I mean, but there was that whole like trying to trick your dad and trying to trick someone's dad into like going and see their son. That's kind of serious. So
yeah,
get rid of that. Add a little bit, like add 4 more minutes of shenanigans, and I'm in even more.
Yeah, it seemed like the stakes were just much lower in the episodes I'd seen before.
There was something in the pilot that it made me feel like there was an irreverence, but like an innocent irreverence. Like I felt like at times there was almost like an It's Always Sunny vibe but like way more. Where that show is just like okay, these people are awful people. This was like, these are like innocent, like good-natured people.
Just very wholesome people.
Just that these things are happening around, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would blast through this show in no time. I mean, and it's like 13 episode seasons. Is that right?
Yeah.
At least the first and last season. Those are the only ones I looked at.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, at
short
most, what does it go up to, like
series.
22 probably? It's kind of the norm.
Yeah, if they did that.
Yeah, if they even did that.
5 seasons, 65 episodes.
Oh, 65.
So, yeah, 13 each season.
It's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's how math
See
works.
you tomorrow. I'll be done.
21 minutes an episode too, so it's short.
Yeah. And it's absolutely hilarious. Like, watch this show.
Yeah,
I'm in.
it's fun. That's definitely a little like Canadian show gem. Sometimes I'm gonna Canadians just do TV good.
I guess so.
They do, don't they?
Yeah.
Hey,
right?
has anyone watched Schitt's Creek? Assholes.
Yeah, watch the first and the last
God
of
damn
it.
it. Watch these shows. Watch these Canadian shows.
Canadian shows.
You heard it here first.
Okay with us.
You heard it here first. Watch those Canadian shows.
Cool. Got any other Canadian shows? Hit us up at FNDL Podcast on the Gmail or on the Twitter.
Facebook.
Jimmy, you wanna lead us off on how you did on predictions?
Yeah, I think I got one. I said Jung is on talking terms with Mr. Kim, and they were talking. So
They
that's great. I mean, and they had them over for dinner and stuff, so that's they're on good terms. There was no church scene. Janet was not pregnant, and Jung was so close. I mean, by the end, it maybe seemed like he was not actually as close as it seemed, but at least like they were talking about him taking over the store.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jung could have had it if you wanted it,
Yeah,
but he
for
didn't
sure.
want it.
They did so much setup. Like, he walks in and he's like fixing random little things about the store, and you're like, oh, it's all happening. And then he does
He's
this
just-
pitch.
Just
they're
helping out
like-
his parents.
They're like, we're
Come on,
too
Jimmy.
old to do these things, but maybe a young person like you. Okay, I think I got 1 point.
Yeah. I will say though that the church is like a prominent part of the show. There's like
I knew it.
In the episodes I'd seen, like the pastor is like one of the like key characters.
Oh, that's fun, but it's hilarious.
Mhm.
I'm gonna do mine now. Well, my first one was Jung has dated Shannon, but they're not now, and that literally
Holy
happened in this
crap.
episode.
Yeah. Happened
That's
within
exactly
the
the
episode.
plot that we saw.
That was half the plot of the story. So, looking ahead and cheating worked out really well for me there. No, I'm just kidding. I just thought they had dated maybe in like season 3, and like they weren't anymore, and they were just friends now. You know, like that's what I was
seen
going
that.
for. I wasn't going for a real time breakup, but it worked out.
Dude,
So I'm taking that point. My other 3 weren't as fruitful. Janet has moved out of the home. I think she still lives there, or if she doesn't, we wouldn't know where she lives, but pretty confident she still lives at home. Mr. and Mrs. Kim are searching for someone to buy the store. They're not. I mean, they would have gave it to Jung, but they weren't like trying to sell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then someone eats 2 or more convenience store hot dogs.
No dogs.
And I saw no convenience store hot dogs.
Yeah. I'm not even sure if they have rollers in there. Didn't seem
Yeah,
like
I'm
they
not
have
sure either,
hot
but
They
I
don't even
just
sell hot dogs.
assume they did. But I'm taking 1 point.
I bet they sell like Oscar Mayer Wiener, like a good like 8-pack.
Solid 8-pack.
Maybe not on the roll though.
I had Jung takes over the store and Janet is pregnant. Both of those seem that Jimmy had, and neither of them points. And then I had Mrs. Kim drives a boat, which we didn't get on water, and then Mr. Kim performs a choreographed dance, which we didn't have either. So no points, all misses.
Oh, no points for Joe.
The picture of
Nope.
Kimchi and his estranged dad was on a boat,
Yeah, that's
and he was like,
getting close.
"Maybe my dad left on a boat." Sad. Well done, everyone. Just terrible.
All right, so I guess that does it, huh? Is that Kim's Convenience totally fleshed out?
Mm-hmm.
We did it.
We did it.
The first and the last.
Good job. I'm proud of us. We did great. We all three of us deserve some sort of medal. So yeah, good job. Listeners, if you would like to send us a show suggestion or just get in contact with us for any other reason, you can at F&L Podcast on the Gmails or on the Twitters. And, that's going to do it for this week. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week for another exciting episode. First and last. Have a good week. Goodbye.
Can we clap?
Jimmy, do you got to clap again?
I think it's probably been 6 months since I shut this computer down and turned it back on.
Dear God,
so.
son.
That's so
Restart your computer every once in a while. Once a month.
like I didn't even
I was-
see you stop it and restart it. That's so smooth.